basics of
Sir.
yes,
Okay, continue, sir.
okay. This lecture 7 on basics of circuits. Today in this session I'm starting the new concepts. One is KCL and KVL, that is fundamental concepts for circuit theory for most of the other subjects also. The next one is types of sources. These two concepts that I want to cover in this class, in this session mainly. Students, first to concentrate on what the Kirchhoff's law for electrical circuits. What the Kirchhoff's law for electrical circuit, students? Think all of you know this one. We are studying from this concept from 10 plus 2. But this is the fundamental concept for electrical circuits. So there are some simple relationships between currents and voltages of different branches of an electric circuit. These relationships are determined by some basic laws that are known as Kirchhoff's laws. More specifically, Kirchhoff current and voltage laws. Actually, it is Kirchhoff's laws, but specifically these are called Kirchhoff's current law and Kirchhoff's voltage law. Students, these laws are first developed by Robert Kirchhoff, and hence these laws are referred to as Kirchhoff's laws. That's why the name is given as a Kirchhoff's laws, because it is developed by Kirchhoff. That's why name is a Kirchhoff's laws. Mainly there is two laws, that is Kirchhoff's first law and Kirchhoff's second law. Students, Kirchhoff's first law and Kirchhoff's second law. Students, please concentrate. First, mainly concentrate on Kirchhoff's first law. This is Kirchhoff's current law. The first law is the Kirchhoff's current law. Students, we know that always this Kirchhoff's current law, simply it is called KCL. This is simply is called as a KCL. This KCL is defined at node. Mainly the KCL is defined at node. Generally, a node is, you have the simple node. You have the simple node. In detail about this nodal analysis, mesh analysis, that I will explain. What is the node, what is the circuit, what is the mesh, all these I will give the students. Okay, but this you have the some minimum knowledge. What the simple node? A simple node means that is, it is the node, it is connected with how many branches are? Two branches. It is a connection of two branches. It is a connection of minimum is two branches. Actually, it is connection of two branches. Connection of two branches. Then it is treated as a simple node. Then there is a one more node, students. There is a principal node. Principal node. Principal node. What is the principal node, students? It is connection of more than the at least three branches. Minimum is three branches. It is connection of at least three branches. It is connection of, students, it is connection of at least three branches. Three branches. Then it is treated as a principal. Okay. I'll leave it in detail about this one. I will explain in the nodal analysis and mesh analysis. But what the KCL states? What the KCL? Students, according to Kirchhoff's current law, the total current entering a junction or a node, a junction or node, is equal to the current leaving the node as no charge is lost. This is the condition. There is no any loss of charge. With that assumption only, this KCL is applicable. There is no loss of charge means entering charge equal to leaving charge. That is the law of conservation of charge. Very important, students. KCL is with the condition of current enter at node is equal to the current leaving at the nodes. Or sum of the currents at entering the node is equal to sum of the currents leaving at the node. But the condition is There is no charge loss. There is no any charge loss. Charge is not lost means entering current, entering charge equal to leaving charge. What it states? Law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge. Yes, friends. Then one more statement I am giving with respect to KCL. The algebraic sum of current entering the node is equal to current leaving a node. The algebraic sum of current entering the node is equal to current leaving. That is, sum of the current enterings is equal to sum of the currents leaving. That what exactly KCL. Let's consider the current entering to the node is equal to the current leaving the node. Actually, sum of the currents. It's the sum of the currents entering the. If there is more number of currents are there, sum of the currents. What are the entering currents, friends? This I1, I2, I3 is the entering currents. Which are the leaving currents, students? I4 and I5 is the leaving currents. That's why I will take like this. This is I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to, students, I4 plus I5. Please concentrate in the figure. Which currents are entering and which currents are leaving? Friends, this I1, I2, I3 is entering, I5 and I4 is leaving. That's why I taken I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to I4 plus I5. Or this we can also write according to KCL, students. This I1 plus I2 plus I3, this is minus I4 minus I5 is equal to 0. That means at a particular node, the algebraic sum of all the currents is equal to 0, students. At a particular node, the algebraic sum of all the currents is equal to 0. This what the KCL states. What the KCL states. That means generally KCL is applied at any node. At any node we can apply. But this is the what exactly the statement of KCL. Yes, friends, please concentrate. Okay. Now, listen, please. Yes, friends. This is very important. Here, I want to write one more point here. Here, I am telling that I1 plus I2 plus I3 equal to I4 plus I5. What I written here? I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to, students, I4 plus I5. It's okay. But you know that current we can write in terms of charge also. Let I1 I written in terms of charge. This is dq1 by dt plus dq2 by dt plus dq3 by dt is equal to, how we can write, student, this? dq4 by dt plus dq5 by dt. I am writing the current in terms of charge. Then, but simply you can also write like this: q1 plus q2 plus q3 is equal to q4 plus q5. Students, that means according to KCL, the entering charge is equal to the leaving charge. Sum of the entering charge equal to sum of the leaving charge. That's why the KCL is based on the law of conservation of charge. It is very important. It is the based on the law of conservation of charge. That is a sum of the entering charge. Here, sum of the entering currents equal to sum of the leaving currents. Sum of the entering currents is equal to sum of the leaving currents. But here, sum of the entering charge, algebraic sum of the entering charge, or simply entering charge is equal to leaving charge, is equal to sum of leaving charge, sum of leaving charge. That's why a KCL is based on the, that is, it is law of conservation of charge. It is law of, there is no loss of charge. That is the meaning of law of conservation of charge. Law of conservation of charge. Very important. For theory questions, that is KCL is based on the law of conservation of charge. Yes, this point mainly concentrate students. Yes, friends, all of you concentrate. That is sum of the entering charge equal to sum of the leaving charge. Next. Yeah, these points also will concentrate to answer any theory question based on the case. KCL applies to any lumped electric net. What the lumped network, what the distributed network, I told students. But KCL is valid only for lumped electric. It fails for distributed. It is valid for only lumped electric network. It fails for distributed. But if you want to apply the KCL for distributed network, you can modeling as a distributing network is modeled as a approximated as a lumped electric, then only you can. But generally it is applied for lumped electric network. Yes, friends. It does not matter whether the elements is linear, non-linear, active, passive, time invariant, time varying, then we can apply the case. We can apply for time invariant, active case, passive case, linear, non-linear. In any case, KCL is applicable. But the condition is, it is a lumped electric network. It is not a distributed. It must be a lumped electric network. Then only KCL is applied. Yes, friends. Next, very important point. This statement I already given, students. KCL is based on the principle of law of conservation of charge. It is based on the principle of law of conservation of charge. Yes. Next, one more point. KCL is independent of the nature of the element connected to the node. Any element is connected, no problem. You can apply the KCL. Any element. For example, in the previous case, I given that elements may be, for example, take any particular node. At this node, a resistor is connected. A resistor is connected. At this node, a current source is connected. A current source is connected. Yes, friends, it is applied. Let us assume that at this node, an inductor is connected. An inductor is connected. Then let us assume that at this node, a capacitor is connected. It is independent of the type of element connected to the particular node. Whatever the element is connected, no problem. Then according to KCL, sum of the entering currents equal to sum of the leaving currents. Let this current is I taken this current is I. Let this current I taken as let this is I1 or IR. Let you take that is the current through the resistor. Let you take this current direction is taken as a IR. This is taken as IR. Let this current is taken as IL. Let this current is taken as IC. Then according to KCL, entering currents equal to leaving currents. Which are the entering students? I plus IR. Which is the leaving students? IL plus IC. Whatever may be the element connected to the network, that is no problem. That's why KCL is independent of the type of the element connected. It may be source is connected, AC source or DC source. Even AC source is connected, no problem. Even resistor, inductor, capacitor, any element is connected, we can apply the KCL. These are the key points. That's why given as a note points during applying the KCL. That is Kirchhoff's current law, students. Yes, friends, please concentrate what I given the points with respect to KCL. The next one is, yes, friends, Kirchhoff's second law. Kirchhoff's second law, that is called Kirchhoff's voltage law. That is called Kirchhoff's voltage law. Yes, friends, it is defined in a loop or mesh. That is in a closed loop. Generally, that KVL, the Kirchhoff's voltage law, simply it is called KVL. Simply it is called KVL. It is defined in a loop or mesh, that is in a closed loop. In detail about loop and mesh, that I will start nodal analysis and mesh analysis. In that case, I will discuss, students. I will give the terminology on this. Okay, then in a closed loop only we can apply the KVL. We can apply the KVL in a closed loop. Yes, friends. It states that the algebraic sum of the voltages or maybe voltage drops in any closed path of a network that is transfers in a single direction is zero. That is algebraic, the sum of the voltages in a closed circuit is equal to 0. That is the what the statement of the Kirchhoff's voltage law, that is KVL students. But condition is in a single direction. In same circuit, don't apply for same element, don't apply in the both the direction at a time. You go for any one direction. You go for in clockwise or you go for anti-clockwise. In both, you can apply the sum of the all the voltages or voltage drops in a closed loop is equal to 0. That is the statement of the KVL. That I will explain by seeing this by taking one circuit, then you get idea. Students, in other words, in a closed circuit, the algebraic sum of all the EMFs and the algebraic sum of the all the voltage drops is yes. EMFs is nothing but a voltage, source voltage. That is sum of the source voltage is equal to sum of the drops. Sum of the voltage. If there is only one source is there, that voltage source, whatever the voltage is there, that voltage is equal to drops. If there is two sources are there, sum of these two source voltage is equal to sum of the drops. And that is also a statement of the KVL. Okay, that is also statement of the KVL, students. One more point, students. KVL independent of nature of element present in a node, just like KCL. It is also any element is present, you can apply the KVL. Any element is present, then we can apply the KVL. But in a distributed net, that must be not a distributed, it must be lumped. Even KVL is also fails for distributed. KVL is also fails for distributed, students. Then that element may be linear or non-linear, active, passive, time. Sir, what is time invariant? What is time variant here, sir? Yes. If you take the constant DC source, if it is a DC source, it is a time invariant. If you take the AC source, it is a time variant. Like that, it's a time variant or time invariant. Then, in all the cases, this KVL is applicable. But the condition is it's a lumped element. It is a lumped circuit, not a distributed. Next, students. KVL expresses conservation of energy in every loop of a lumped electric circuit. KCL is law of conservation of charge, but it is a law of conservation of energy in a loop. That is law of conservation of charge at a node, but there is a law of conservation of energy in a loop. Okay, that is the difference. That works, that expresses the law of conservation of charge, but KVL expresses law of conservation of energy. That proof also I will use. But up to now, you remember this point. Now, whatever the point I given with respect to statement I given, what is the KVL, in order to give the proof for that one, before going to that one. But during applying the KVL, the sign convention is very, very important, students. Even though we are studying from 10 plus 2, this KCL and KVL, still most of the students are confusing during applying the KVL, what I will take plus, what I will take minus. Sign convention is very important. Once you know the sign convention, how to apply, once you know the sign convention, applying the KVL is very easy, students. And solving the problems in electric circuits also very easy. First, you know the sign convention. Yes, students. Here I am giving you follow like this, how to apply the sign convention. Yes, students. For example, here different examples I am giving, then you can understand how to apply the sign convention. For example, let's consider, yes, friends, okay, this is a voltage source. I'm giving this one. This is the battery. This is a battery whose voltage is, whose EMF is E. Let this point is A and this point is B. Then I want to find what is the voltage difference. Then one statement you can remember. Once we are moving from positive plate to negative plate. So many, mainly there is a two methods are there. But this is the best method I am giving. Please concentrate. That method also I will explain, students. Once we are moving from positive plate to negative plate, that is, it is a drop. That means voltage is falling. Voltage is falling means you take the negative. Once we are moving from negative to positive, then what you take, students? Voltage rise. Negative to positive means voltage rise. Then you take the plus. Then how we can write this one? This is VA. Later I'm moving like this, friends. Positive to negative. That's why it is a fall off voltage. Fall off voltage means minus E. This is equal to VB. The voltage at point B, let us assume that V. This VA minus E equal to VB, or VA minus E minus VB equal to 0. Because it is connected to negative plate, that's why you take minus V. Or otherwise, we can write like this, friends. VA minus E minus VB equal to 0. Because it is connected to negative. Or simply you can write VA minus E equal to. From this one, what is VA minus VB, friends? VA minus VB equal to E. Here also you are getting same formula. VA minus VB equal to E. Understand, friends? How to apply the KVL? Mainly sign convection I am explaining here. Later I will explain how to apply the KVL. Yes, friends. We are moving from positive to negative. That's right. For example, one more example. Please concentrate all these examples. Then all your doubts will be clear. How to take the plus minus. Okay. Once you can clearly understand this one, solving of the questions are very easy using KCL, KVL, model analysis, and mesh analysis also, students. For example, I'm giving this battery is like this. And this is A and this is B, students. This A and this is B. Then how we can write? You don't bother about this one where it is connected negative, where it is connected to positive. Mainly concentrate this battery side. This is VA. This is VA, students. This is VA. Then this is we are moving from negative to positive. Negative to positive. That is plus E. Rise of voltage. Negative to positive plus E. This is equal to VB. Then what we can get, students? VA minus VB equal to minus E. VA minus VB equal to minus E. This VA, this mainly concentrate. We are moving from negative to positive. That's it. No, sir, you told that this A is connected to negative. That's it. Like that also we can apply. Then what we can take, students? Minus VA. We are moving from negative to positive plus E. This is connected to positive plus VB is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Yes, friends. Then what we can get? This is minus VA. This is connected to negative plate. Then we are moving from negative to positive. Rise of the voltage plus E. Then this is equal to plus VB. Then how to write, friends? How to write? Then we want VA minus VB. Is it correct? Yeah. This way I am getting this is minus VA. We are moving from this. This is better to go for this one. Don't concentrate that one. Yes, students. Yes, this is correct. This I given. Actually, you can take this is VA negative because already you taken this one. Negative to positive moving means plus C. VA plus C equal to VB. Then what is VA minus VB? This VA minus VB equal to minus. Okay, like this, we can apply this one. The sign convection is very important. We are moving from negative to positive, rise of the voltage. Once it is a rise of the voltage, you take the which one? Positive. If it is a fall of the voltage, then you take the negative. Mainly you concentrate this one. You concentrate this one. This voltage is equal to this voltage. This voltage is equal to this voltage. Generally go for this procedure instead of going this one. Yes. One more element representation of you. For example, if it is given third example. For example, if any resistor is connected like this is the resistor. This resistive element is connected. Yes, friends. This is point A and this is point. Then how to apply the KVL here? Let the current direction is this direction. If the current is this direction, the current is like this, then students, this is VA. Always, because the voltage across the resistor is nothing but a drop. The voltage across the resistor is nothing but a drop. Drop means rise of voltage or fall of voltage. Drop is always fall of voltage. Fall of voltage means you take positive or negative strength. Fall of voltage means always you take positive or negative.
Negative.
Yes, negative. That is VA minus IR equal to VB. Then what we can get, students? VA minus VB is equal to I into R. Like this we can apply. This sign convention is very important. One more example I am giving. Yes, students, please concentrate this. Please concentrate. For example, this is the actually the current direction is like this. The current direction is given like this. Yes, friends, the current direction is given like this. This is A and this is B and this is the resistance. But I am applying the KVL in this direction. But I am applying in this direction. Now you tell me how to apply the KVL here. Yes, friends. But the current direction is given like this. But I am applying the KVL this path. Then this is VA. Actually, it is a drop. Drop means always you take minus IR. Minus IR, students. Drop means always you take minus IR. But we are applying this, we are taking this direction opposite to this current direction. Students, understand? We are taking this direction opposite to this current direction. That's why you take negative. Clear? All these observations are important during nodal analysis and mesh analysis. Very important, students. Yes, students, this is the negative. This is the negative. Why I taken this thing? Actually, the drop is minus R. Always drop is fall off voltage. Fall off voltage is nothing but a negative you take. Then this is equal to VP. Then what you can get, students? VA plus IR. VA plus IR equal to VB. Then what is VA minus VB, students? VA minus VB equal to minus IR. It is correct. VA minus VB equal to what we can get, friends? Minus IR. It is clear. Next, one more example. Please write down all these very important, very important. Once we can understand this sign convection, applying the KVL is very easy. Let this is the battery. Battery along with resistance is also given. Can you apply here? Can you find what the difference of voltage? This is VA. Let this is VB, students. This is the battery. This is the R. Can you find the what is VA minus VB? Yes. Can you find the what is VA minus VB? Yes, students. Yes, same. This is VA. We are moving from negative to positive. Negative to positive means rise of voltage. Negative to positive means rise of voltage. Plus C. Always let the current direction is this one. The current direction is this one. There's always the drop is negative. Drop is negative. Is equal to VB. Yes, friends. Now I want what is VA minus VB, sir. VA minus VB equal to what you can get? Minus E plus IR. Minus E plus IR is the VA minus VB. For example, one more example I am giving. Can you try this one? Example 6 I am giving. The sixth example. Yes, this is the battery and this is the resistance. Let this is A and this is B. The current direction is like this. Can you apply this one? Yes, friends, this is VA. We are moving from positive to negative. Positive to negative means fall off voltage. Fall off voltage means this is the battery E. Minus E. Always drop is negative. Minus IR is equal to VB. Then from this, what is VA minus VB, students? I am finding the voltage difference. Then how we can find this is E plus IR. VA minus VB equal to what we can get, students? This is equal to E plus IR. Is it correct? This VA minus E minus IR, that is VA minus VB equal to. And you try this one, students. This is the seventh one. Try this one. For example, this is the battery is given, and this is the resistance is given. Yes, but the current direction is given like this. But we are applying this direction. We are moving this. We are moving through this direction, opposite to current direction. Let this point A. This is the point B. You try to find this one. What is VA minus VB? Understand, friends? Okay, this is the sign convention you follow in order to apply the KVL. In order to apply the KVL. Yes, friends, please concentrate. Is it okay? Understood, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One more method is also there, but better to go for this way. Sometimes you can also apply like this. Enter at positive terminal, take positive. Enter at negative terminal, take negative. Like that also we can apply. Then finally we can get same answer only. Enter at positive terminal, take positive. Enter at negative terminal, take negative. Like that also we can apply. Then we can get the same answers. We can get the same answer. But remember only one rule. Instead of remembering the two rules, making the confusion, go for only one rule. Yeah, this I am giving this one. Go. You can apply this rule to solve the any question. Yes, students. Now see, let's consider here I am giving the in order to explain the K, what exactly KVL. Let consider in a closed loop. This plus minus. This is V. In this, I told already KVL is independent of type of element connected. KCL is independent of KVL is and KCL is independent of type of element connected in the circuit. Yes, friends, let this is R and this is L, this is C, plus minus VR, plus minus VL, plus minus VC. Okay, then if you apply the KVL in this loop, if you apply the KVL in this loop, students, then what is the KVL? Sir? If you apply the KVL, let we are moving this direction. We are moving this direction. What are the KVL, students? Always the drops are taken as a negative. This is minus VR, minus VL, S, minus VC. We are moving from negative to positive, sir. We are moving from negative to positive means what we can take plus V is equal to 0. Understand, students? Always drops are taken as a negative. Minus VR, minus VL, minus VC. We are moving from negative to positive. Then you take the plus V equal to 0. Then what we can get, students? This VR plus VL plus VC is equal to V. That means according to KVL, the total source voltage is equal to sum of the drops. Voltage drop across the resistor, voltage drop across the inductor, and voltage drop across the capacitor. Yes, friends. Now I will write like this. We know that how to define the voltage. The voltage is defined as S W by Q. That is energy by charge. I already given W equal to VQ, sir. Then V equal W by Q. W by Q. The work done, the energy required to transfer the charge is nothing but a voltage. Then this is how we can write, friends. This is for with respect to resistor. This you can write WR by Q plus this is WL by Q. This is WC by Q, where W is the energy, students. Then QQ cancel. Then what the W equal to, students? WR plus WL plus WC. Yes, sir. This is law of conservation of energy. That's why KVL is based on the law of conservation of energy. It's a law of conservation of energy. Conservation of energy. Yeah, this point to remember with respect to KVL. Okay, how to apply the KVL? That whatever that sign convection I given, if you follow that one, you can easily apply that KVL. Okay, can you apply KVL in this loop? Please try to apply the KVL. It's simple circuits I am giving. In solving our problem, you'll see how to apply this KVL. Yes, friends. Apply KVL in this loop. Apply K. Any direction we can apply. Go for clockwise or anti-clockwise. We can get the final answer is same. Final answer is same. Okay. Now I am applying the KVL for this. This is the current direction is given. The current direction is given. That is voltage drop across the resistor is it is a drop. Drop means you take the negative minus IR1. Drop means negative minus IR2. Drop means falling. Falling means negative you take minus IR2. Students, I am applying, I am going in the clockwise direction. Okay, then we are moving from negative to positive, sir. Negative to positive means rise of voltage plus V2. Negative to positive means rise of voltage plus V1 is equal to 0. Then what we can do, students? V1 plus V2 is equal to I into R1 plus I into R2. Is it okay, sir? Okay, this is nothing but how we can apply the key. But we have one doubt here, sir. No, sir. I want to apply in anti-clock. Yes, go for anti-clockwise direction also. We can get the same answer. The final answer we can get same. Yes, friends, if you want to go for anti-clockwise. This is clockwise. When I want to apply counterclock, any one direction only for either clockwise or counterclockwise. Now we are moving from this point to, but we are moving opposite to currents. Actually, drops are taken as a negative, students. Drops are taken as a negative. Drops are taken as a negative, but we are moving from opposite to current, opposite to the given current direction. That's why we take negative, that is minus IR2. Is it correct, students? Then this is drops are taken as a negative, but you are moving opposite to current direction. That's why we take minus IR1. Is it correct, friends? Next, we are moving from counterclockwise direction, positive to negative, friends. Positive to negative means minus V1. Positive to negative means fall of voltage, minus V is equal to 0 according to KVL. Then what we can get, friends? This is IR2 plus IR1 minus V1 minus V2 equal to 0. Then what you can get, students? V1 plus V2 is equal to IR1 plus IR2. We are getting same answer. Understood or not? A simple circuit I am giving here for clear understanding. Once you know this knowledge, applying KVL is very easy. Once you know this knowledge, applying nodal analysis and mesh analysis, actually mesh analysis also very easy, students. Friends, concentrate. So, no, sir, I will take clockwise. Yes. No, sir, I want to take counterclockwise. Yes. Any direction you take, no problem. We can get the same answer. Students, one more circuit I am giving here. Can you apply the KVL in this room? Please go through. Apply the KVL in this room. Apply the KVL in this loop. Just clear understanding. I am giving these circuits. I will explain solving of the problems also in detail. Yes, this minimum knowledge is required. If you apply the KVL, students, what you can write? Sir, I started here. This is the current direction is like this. Drops are taken as
V1
always.
minus
Drops
V2.
are taken. Yes. Yes, sir.
V1 minus V2 equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3.
Very good. This you see minus IR1. This is minus V2. Positive to negative moving. Fall of voltage minus V2. This is minus IR2. Yes, students, minus IR2. This is minus IR3. Minus IR3. This negative to positive. This plus V1 equal to 0. Then what we can get, students? V1 minus V2 equal to IR1 plus IR2 plus IR3. Very good. Yeah, this is the answer we are getting. Any circuit is given, you can easily apply the KVL just by knowing that sign convention. Understand, students? Okay. During solving of the problems, how it is useful later on we will see. Okay, you please concentrate. Please concentrate. This what exactly a KVL? Okay, that KCL is the law of conservation of charge at any node. It's the law of conservation of energy in any node. The final conclusion points I am giving here, it is very important points to solve the theory questions. Mainly ESC point of view or any other PSU's point of view to solve the theory questions. Yes, sir. The field theory, this point already given. field theory can be applied for low and high frequency applications. For any frequency applications, from 0 frequency to any frequency, we can apply the field theory. We can apply the field theory. Is correct? But in field theory, accurate results are obtained. Very important for assertion and reasoning questions also. For assertion and reasoning questions, mainly for ESE point of view, these statements are very important. In field theory, accurate results are obtained by developing mathematical equations, and it is complex. Yes. In which case we can get the more accurate results. Field theory, we can get the more accurate results as compared to network. But the problem is, it is a complex analysis. Next, students. Network theory is applied only for low frequency applications. That I told already this. Yes, these points concentrate. KCL and KVL fail for high frequency applications. That's why KCL and KVL is also applicable for low frequency application only. It is not applicable for high frequency applications. Next, it is fail for high frequency application. Next, final conclusion points. KCL and KVL, that is KVL and KCL, fail for distributed parameters. Told already. It is applicable only for lumped parameters. Since in the distributed parameters, it is not possible to separate inductance, capacitance, and resistance effectively. That's the reason why it is fail for distributed parameters. Yes, students. KVL and KCL applied only for lumped parameters. It may be linear or non-linear, unidirectional, bidirectional, that is unidirectional, unilateral, bilateral, time variant, time invariant, no problem. But particularly it is a lumped parameter. Next, yes friends, Ohm's law can be applied for lumped and distributed. This is the advantage. Ohm's law can be applied for either lumped parameter or distributed parameter. But KVL and KCL is applied only for which one, friends? Lumped parameter. Yes, friends, you please concentrate. This is the conclusion points by combination of KCL and KVL and Ohm's. Conclusion points. Even for field theory, KCL, KVL, Ohm's law, all these conclusion points are given. Very important for theory questions. Even for gate point of view also, theory point of view, it is important. Mainly for PSUs and ESE point. PSUs in the sense, mainly electrical students. Genco, Transco point of view. Simple theory questions we may expect from this one. Understand? I think you got clear idea where you can apply KCL, KVL, where you can apply the field theory, where you can apply the Ohm's law. Where we can apply the Ohm's law. Yes, friends, please concentrate. The next topic today class is types of sources. Very important that you concentrate. Types of sources. Yes, friends. In general, there is a different types of sources are there. A source is nothing but it is an energy source, no doubt at all. What are the different types of sources? Okay, this is the classification of broad classification of the sources. Yes, broadly classified into DC source and AC source. That is the direct source and alternating source. Yeah, this is the DC source and the AC sources. But mainly concentrate on the direct sources. In the direct sources, independent sources, dependent sources. Independent sources and dependent sources. Then what is the in independent? Again, independent voltage source is present, current that separate I will be separately. Independent voltage source is present, current source also. Even in dependent sources also, a dependent voltage source is present, dependent current source is also present. These dependent sources are again classified into different types. That is voltage controlled voltage source, very important. VCV, VCVS, voltage controlled voltage source. VCCS, voltage controlled current source. Voltage controlled current source. CCVS, friends, current controlled voltage source. Current controlled voltage source. CCCS, current controlled current source. All these are which sources, friends? Dependent sources. All these are the dependent sources. During simplifying the networks, the importance of dependent sources is very important. Later that I will explain, but mainly concentrate on the independent sources first. Yes, the independent sources are again It's a voltage source and current source. The independent sources are voltage source and current sources. The voltage sources are again ideal voltage source, practical voltage source. The current sources are again ideal current source, practical current source. Ideal current source and practical current source. Now we'll see in detail discussion of ideal and practical students. Very important for competitive exams. Yes, students, all of you please concentrate. Here I am discussing what is ideal voltage source, what is the practical voltage source, what is the ideal current source, and what is the practical current source. Yes, friends, please concentrate. All of you. First, concentrate on ideal voltage source. Yes, the voltage source, when the particular source is said to be ideal voltage source, the name itself it indicates that ideal. Practically, this is not exist. Practically, this type of sources are not exist. The voltage source which can deliver constant voltage to the circuit, and it is also referred as independent voltage source, no doubt at all, as it is independent of the current that the circuit draws. That means it always supplies a constant voltage to the load, or it always supplies the constant voltage. It maintains the constant voltage of the terminal, independent of the current flowing in the circuit. It is independent of the current flowing in the circuit. That is, it is independent of the load current. That means in ideal voltage source, the load voltage is independent of load current. Whatever the load voltage is there, that load voltage always is equal to the source voltage, that is independent of the load current. That is independent of the load current. Yes, let's consider the representation of the ideal voltage source, friends. Yeah, this is the one ideal voltage source. Let's consider this is plus minus. Let the source voltage is Vs. Source voltage is Vs. Across these terminals, we are connected one load. Let any load is connected. One element is connected. The load is connected. Let it is a variable load. Any resistive element you are connected. That is no problem. Any load is connected. Let some load is connected across these terminals of the source. Let us assume that it is a variable. Let the current through this circuit is I. The voltage across the load is V. The voltage across the load is V. In the case of ideal voltage source, always V equal to Vs. That is, whatever the current is flowing. That means the voltage across the load is independent of the current. That means always this voltage source supplies the constant voltage to the load. What is that constant voltage, friends? Vs. What is at any instant of time? In the case of ideal voltage source, what is the load voltage? It's always Vs. Always Vs. Then we can vary the load. We can increase the current or decrease the current. That is no problem. Always V equal Vs. Then this type of source is treated as an ideal voltage source. Then if you draw the characteristics for ideal voltage source, if you draw the characteristics for ideal voltage source with respect to load current and load voltage, let the current through the load is I. Let this is I and this load voltage is. You can increase the current, whatever the is flowing, always the load voltage is how much, friends? It is a Vs. Let that load voltage is Vs, that equal to constant. You can increase the current for any value. You can increase the load. You can increase the current for any value. Always the load voltage equal to Vs. Then this type of source is treated as a, which one, friends? Ideal voltage source. But very important point here, for ideal voltage source, the internal resistance equal to 0. For ideal voltage source, very important. For ideal voltage source. Friends, yes, friends, what is the internal resistance? The internal resistance is equal to 0. We don't have any internal resistance. Once internal resistance is zero means what
Sir,
is the power dissipation? Zero. The power dissipation is also zero. For ideal, that's why. But practical, this is, that's why name is given as ideal students. What the power dissipation? The power dissipation is zero. Power dissipation is zero means having 100% efficiency source. It is a 100% efficiency source. An ideal voltage source is the 100% efficiency source. That's why the power dissipation equal to zero. For ideal voltage source, the internal resistance is zero. Very important. And these are the characteristics. Whatever the current is flowing, always the load voltage is how much, students? V equal to Vs only. V equal to Vs. Okay.
sir,
This
if we
only.
alter the axis,
Yes.
if we alter the axis of voltage and current, how the graph will be, sir?
You are asking for current and voltage axis is changing. Yeah. This is I. You are asking this is V. Yes, friends. This is I. This is V. Then we are getting this voltage is letter V equal to Vs. V equal to Vs. Always the voltage is which one, friends? Always the voltage is Vs. Whatever the current you give. This is Vs. This Vs is constant. You are writing here, current is taken higher, then you can increase the current any value. But always that value of V equal to how much, friends? The value of V equal to how much?
Yes.
Yes. It's okay. It's always its value equal to Vs. At any value of, you take at any value of current, 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 the voltage equal to how much, sir? The voltage equal to how much? It is a Vs. For this value of current, V equal to Vs. For this value of current also, V equal to Vs. For this value of current also, V equal to Vs. For this value of current also, V equal to Vs. It remains constant. Okay, that is the meaning. Okay, understood. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next, we'll see the practical voltage source. The practical voltage source. Yeah, when the source is said to be practical voltage source, sources having some amount of internal series resistance are known as practical voltage source. The terminal voltage across its terminals are not constant, rather it varies with output current. If the current in the circuit changes, the terminal voltage also changes, then it is treated as a practical voltage source. Then it is treated as a practical voltage source. That's why a practical voltage source is having some internal resistance. A practical voltage source is having some internal resistance. Let the internal, actually it is the internal series resistance. In series with the source, actually it is a source. It is having internal series resistance, not across the source. In the case of voltage source means that resistance is in series with the source. Let the source resistance is Rs. Let this resistance is Rs. Yes, friends. Let across these two terminals, let assume that we are connecting some load. If it is connected with some load. Okay, let the current in the circuit is I. Let the load voltage is V. Let this load may be variable load. That load may be variable load. Then we can apply the KVL in this case. Apply the KVL, friends. Apply the KVL in this case, what you can get. Yes. We are moving from positive to negative. This you take negative. Then negative to positive, you take plus Vs. Always the drop is taken as always this drop is taken as which one, friends? Negative minus IRS is equal to 0. Is equal to. Then what the load voltage, friends? The load voltage V equal to Vs minus I into Rs. It is correct. The load voltage V equal to Vs minus I into Rs, friends. V equal to Vs minus I into Rs. That means the load voltage depends on the current. The load voltage is depending on the current. For example, if I is increases, friends, if I is increases, if the current to the circuit is increases, or current to the load is increases, what is the voltage across the load, friends? What is the voltage across the load? If I is increases, I into Rs is increases. This drop is increased. If I into Rs is increases, what is Vs minus I into Rs, friends? Vs minus I into Rs is decreases. Then what about V? Decreases. That means the load voltage depends on the current flowing in the circuit. Then it is treated as a which source, friends? These are practical voltage source. If you draw the characteristics for practical voltage source, what characteristics we can expect? Yes, friends, here I am taking the load voltage on y-axis. This is the current on x-axis. If there is no actually in ideal voltage source, what is V equal to, friends? It is V equal to Vs. This characteristics for ideal voltage source. But for practical voltage source, if the current is increases, what about the voltage reduces? V is reduced. If the current is increases, what about the voltage, friends? V is reduced. Okay, these characteristics we can expect for practical voltage source. Okay, this is the practical voltage source. This is for which one? Ideal voltage source. This characteristics for which one? It's a practical voltage source. Practical. That means it depends on. That means a practical voltage is having a ideal voltage source, internal resistance 0. But practical voltage source, internal resistance is having, but is a low value. Internal resistance. What the internal resistance of? Is a low resistance. A low resistance. The internal resistance of practical voltage source is it's a low resistance. Ideally, 0 means practically low. Yeah, that is the concept interpretation for practical and ideal source. Yeah, these are the characteristics we can expect for V equal to how much? If it is not there, V equal to Vs. That means in any practical voltage source, if the current is not flowing in the circuit, in any practical voltage source, in any practical voltage source, if load is not connected, if it is open circuit, in any practical, one more observation I am giving is, students, in any practical voltage source, if I equal to 0, then what is terminal voltage, friends? What the terminal voltage we can get? In any practical voltage source, if this current is 0, what is V equal to?
Source voltage.
Yeah, that is the source voltage. Because no current means no drop. That's why the terminal voltage is equal to source voltage. Okay, this observation is also important. Okay, this point you remember, and this characteristics you concentrate, and this point also you concentrate. This is about the practical voltage source. This is about the practical voltage source. Next, one more source is ideal current source. Here I am talking about the current sources. Ideal current source. But practically, are you seeing any practical current source in the laboratory, friends? Are you seeing any current sources in the laboratory? Are you seeing any current sources? No. We have only practical, we have only voltage sources only. Don't have any current sources. But a large inductor, a voltage source in series with a large inductor acts as a one current source. Okay, that you will see in detail later. Yes, the current source which can deliver constant current to the circuit, and it is also referred as independent current source, as it is independent of the voltage across the source. Okay, that's why it is treated as a ideal current source, independent of the ideal current source. So in ideal current source, the load current is independent of the load voltage. Whatever the load voltage, it remains, current remains constant. Current remains constant. Then it is treated as a ideal current source. Then it is treated as a ideal current source. Now see, this is the representation of ideal current source. This is the ideal current source. Whatever the load voltage, the current remains constant. Or whatever the load, the current remains constant. Then it is treated as an ideal current source. Let us assume that across this current source, we are connected any load. Let this is the variable load. Let the voltage across the load is V squares. Let the current in the circuit is I. The current in the circuit is I. Yes, please concentrate. The current in the circuit is I. Yes. Let that current is treated as a load current. Let this current, source current is Is. This Is supplying the I. Then if you draw the characteristics between, then if you draw the characteristics here, this is voltage and this is the current. Yes. Whatever the load voltage, the load current, what are the load current, students? The load current I equal to always which value? Is. Let the amplitude of this Is is I taken this one. Whatever the load voltage, that Is remains constant. That I equal to Is always. I equal to Is always. The load current is always Is only. That is independent of the load. You can increase the load or decrease the load. In the case of ideal current source, always what the load current is Is only. That constant current is supplied by source, ideal current source. The name is given as ideal. Practically, this type of sources are not possible. And one important point here, ideally, that means what input resistance of ideal current source? Very important. What is the input resistance or internal resistance? The internal resistance of ideal current source. The internal resistance is how much, friends? The internal resistance equal to infinity. The internal resistance of ideal current source is the infinity. The internal resistance is infinity. Here, this about the ideal current source. That point you concentrate. Next, what is the practical current source? Practical current source. A practical current source having some resistance connected across its terminals. That is important. Generally, a current source is having the resistance across the terminals. We are representing across the terminals. But in ideal current source, across the terminal, it is open circuited means what the resistance are? Infinity. That's the reason why I told that the internal resistance equal to infinity. But in a practical current source having some resistance connected across its terminals, in practical current source, the load current depends on the load voltage. The more this voltage, lesser will be the current. How it is? Let's consider it is the practical current source. Let the practical current source. Let the source current is Is. But practically, a source is having, a practical current source is having a resistance that is connected across the terminals. Across the terminals. Let this is Rs. This is the Rs. Let's across this we are connecting some load. Let across this terminals we are connected the load. Let this a variable load. Let this plus minus V. This is the plus minus V. Okay, let this load current is how much? I. The load current. How much source is supplying? This is the IS current. The source is supplying IS current. Now this is plus minus. This load current supplying the let this is the voltage V means. Then here also this V means what is the voltage at this point is also V. But these 2 points are same. This point and this point is same students. What is the voltage at this node is also V. Because this point and this point, same wire only. This point and the voltage is also same. Now, let apply this KCL at this node, students. Apply the KCL at this node. What is the KCL at this node, students? Apply the KCL at this node. Entering current equal to sum of the leaving currents. Entering current equal to sum of the leaving current. What is the entering current, students? You take at this node I am applying the KCL. Minus IS, let entering current is taken as a negative. Leaving currents are taken as a positive. What is the leaving current here, sir? What is the voltage at this point? V. Apply the Ohm's law. V by RS. This plus I is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. Now, what is the load current, students? The load current equal to IS minus V by RS. Is correct. I equal to IS minus V by RS. In this case, if V is increases, if load voltage is increases, yes friends, if the load voltage is increases, what is IS minus V by RS, friends? What happened? This IS minus V by RS, what happened? Increases or decreases? If this is increases, this resultant is decreases. If this is decreases means, what about the I? Decreases. That's why the more the voltage, lesser will be the current. Higher the voltage, lesser will be the current. Now, if you draw the characteristics, for for practical current source, yes friends, this is I, this is V. Ideally, what is this current, friends? That is the current is independent of the voltage. This is the ideal case. But practically, if V is increasing this side, what about the current decreasing? If the V is increasing, current is reducing. Okay, like this, we can expect the characteristics in the case of practical current source. But here, very important points: what are the internal resistance of practical current source? For practical current source, yes, friends, for practical current source, the internal resistance is having the high internal resistance. Why? You make the difference between the practical and ideal. Ideally, infinity means practically high. High internal resistance. Practical current. See, students, current source is different, ammeter is different. Voltage source is different, voltmeter is different. Please don't confuse. Here, current source is having high input resistance, but ammeter is having less input resistance. Exactly opposite. Where voltage source is having less internal resistance, but voltmeter is having high input resistance. I think all of you know this one. Voltmeter is having high input resistance. Voltmeter is different, voltage source is different. Ammeter is different, current source is different. Whose internal resistance and input resistances are exactly opposite. Voltmeter is high, voltage source is low. Ammeter is low, but current source is high internal resistance. Okay, students. Okay, this is about what exactly a practical current source, ideal voltage source, practical voltage source, ideal current source, and the practical current source. Yes, friends. In a practical current source, if V equal to 0, means if it is shorted. The practical current source terminals are shorted. If the practical current source terminals are shorted, V becomes 0. If V becomes 0, what is your observation? The question is asked like this. If these two terminals are shorted, if terminals are shorted, what is V, students? V becomes 0 in a practical current source. If it is shorted means like this, we are not connecting any load. This is a short. If it is shorted like this, V equal to 0. If V equal to 0, you substitute here, friends. Then what is I you can get, friends? I equal to IS. This is one more observation. In the case of practical current source, we can get the I equal to IS. Yes, friends, please concentrate. Yeah, this is about what exactly ideal current source, practical current source. But this is a final one conclusion point I am giving. Inherently, all the sources are non-linear in nature, since the voltage and current relation is non-linear. Understand, friends? For example, in any source, if the voltage is increases, current is increasing. If the voltage is decreases, current is decreases. If that relation is satisfied, then we can say that it is a linear. But here that is not the case. Every source is treated as a non-linear. Understand? Okay, that's the reason why every source is a non-linear, because the voltage and current relations are taken as a non-linear. You see in the current source itself, if the voltage is increased, what happening here? Current is reducing. It is not following the linear relation. Even voltage source also you take, practical voltage source. I am talking about the real sources. I am not talking about the ideal sources. Real sources in the sense practical sources. They are not voltage and current relations in the case of practical sources. Is not a linear relation. Always it is a non-linear relation. That's why every source is treated as a non-linear. Understood? They are basically active and unilateral elements. I told already. What about the sources are they? Sources are the example of which one, students? Active element. Sources are the examples of active element. Yeah, these are the final conclusion points with respect to whatever I given these independent sources. Next. Yes, friends, please concentrate. What is the dependent sources? What is the dependent sources? Actually, in detail explanation not required, but during solving of the problem, what is the importance of these sources later on I will explain. Yes, friends. A dependent source is a voltage source or current source. Here also, there are voltage sources are present, current sources are present, whose value depends on a voltage or current elsewhere in the network. Yes. The value of that source is depends on the voltage or current variable parameter that is in the circuit at anywhere, that at a particular point. For example, there is voltage control, voltage sources are there, current control, current sources are also there. That value of that source is decided by the controlling element. Value of that source is decided by the controlling element in a network. That controlling element may be at any place in a network. During solving of the problem, that you will see. Yes, sir. For example, how these dependent sources are represented. How these dependent sources are represented. Yes, friends, please concentrate. Okay, this is one way to represent dependent sources. Okay, this I already given in the figure. Please concentrate. Yes, friends. This is current controlled current source. Current controlled. This is what the source indicates, friends. Voltage source. Voltage control at input voltage. Voltage control what the source, friends? Voltage source. Voltage controlled what the source, friends? Voltage source. Okay, this is one way to represent the dependent sources, or simply we can also represent like this. The dependent sources is also represented like this. Yes, friends, this I am representing like this plus minus. This plus minus. For example, it is given like this. Let this is yes, friends, K1 V2. Then what is the name of this source, friends? What is the name of this voltage source, dependent source? Because whose value is depends on the V2. That's why this is voltage source. Plus minus is there. That's why it is voltage source. But which parameter it is controlling, students? Voltage parameter is controlling. That's why it is voltage controlled voltage source. Understand? One more observation here. Yes, friends. For example, I am representing like this. Then what is the name of this dependent source? What is the name of this dependent source? For example, let us assume that this is a K3I. What is the name of this dependent source, friends? Which parameter you are controlling? Current. But what is the source? Current source. That's why current controlled current source. Current controlled current source. For example, I am giving the source like this, friends. Let this is plus minus. Let this is some K4, some constant K4 into I2 I am giving. K4 into I2 I am giving. Then what is this source, friends? What is the name of this one, friends? What is this source? Voltage source. But which parameter it is controlling? Current. That's why current to controlled voltage source. Current to controlled voltage source. One more I am giving here. This is plus minus. Yes, friends. Okay. Instead of this minus, I will take the current source finally. This is current source. Then which one you can write for current sources? Both there's some constant. I take K5 into K5 into V2. Then what is this source, friends? What is this source? Current source, which is controlling voltage. That is voltage controlled current source. Voltage controlled current source. Okay, like this we can represent. For example, if it is given. Now, what is this source? This I am giving plus minus. But this some constant that this is K6. I am giving the some K2 into I1 square. It is also which source? What is this source, friends? A current to controlled voltage source. But what is the difference between these two? It is the current to control voltage source. It is also current to control voltage source. What is the difference between these two, friends? Both are current control voltage sources. This is also current control voltage source. It is also current control voltage source, friends. That is it is a linear control. It is a linear control because there is no any square term or cube term. All these are linear controlling. It is also linear controlling. It is also linear controlling. It is a linear controlling. But it is a current control voltage source. But it is a which controlling, students? Non-linear controlling because of I square term. Non-linear control. But we don't have any this type. We are not concentrating in our study. Mainly this only linear controlling dependent source only we are concentrating. Yes, friends. Yeah, this what exactly a dependent source. Dependent source whose value, whose magnitude, whose value depends on the voltage or current in the network. In a network. That means this controlling parameter will decide its value. Yeah, that is nothing but a dependent source. It depends on the controlling parameter. That's why name is given as a dependent sources. But here, this is very important 5-star points with respect to dependent sources. Students, please concentrate. Yes, sir. The dependent sources are useful to represent an equivalent electrical models for many electronic devices such as transistors, operational amplifiers, and integrated circuits. In order to represent electronic models, we can use the dependent source. I think you know already in analog electronic circuits. In analog electronic circuits, mainly in the transistor parameters calculation, yes, friends, in amplifiers analysis, we are using these dependent sources analysis. Understand? That's why to represent the so many electronic circuit models, then we can use these dependent sources. That is one advantage. Next, with respect to controlled variable, Yes, friends. With respect to controlled variable only, the dependent sources are said to be linear. That is, this I told already. If the control parameter is the linear, then you can say it's a linear control. If it is a non-linear, then you can say non-linear control. That's why how to say that it's a linear or non-linear based on this control parameter only. That I told. Yes, friends. Linear, active, and bilateral. The presence of these elements makes the network a linear, active, and bilateral. That means any network consists of these dependent sources, then we can say that it is active and bilateral and it is a linear. Understand, friends? Next, one more very important point. The control sources are said to be, yes, when the control sources are said to be sources, that is active elements. When the control sources are said to be active, source is nothing but active elements, friends. When the controls or sources are said to be active elements, that means sources. Source is nothing but active element. In the presence of at least one independent source, very important during solving of the problems also, that I will explain. In the given network, in a given circuit, at least one independent source is present, then only that control sources are treated as active. Then only controlled variables are non-zero and hence their magnitudes also non-zero. Okay, these are the points you remember with respect to dependent sources. Students, understand what exactly the points you remember with respect to dependent sources. Then how to represent the dependent sources. When it is taken as a non-linear control, when it is taken as a linear control. Okay, this is about in detail what are the different types of sources we are using. But I want to extend this concept. That is very important in solving of the questions in competitive exams. What are the equivalent circuits with respect to sources? Very important observations, friends. Here, with respect to sources, what are the equivalent circuits? Different equivalent circuits that I want to explain here. Very useful to solve the different models of questions for any competitive exam. This is 5-star topic. Yes, friends, here I am giving the different equivalent circuits. Friends, for example, if any current source is there, for this current source, any series resistance is connected. Let the series resistance, not RS, let it is taken as a R. Any series resistance is connected here. Then, if any resistance is connected in series with current source, friends, there is no significance for that resistance. There is no any significance for that resistance. That's why simply you can replace this circuit. Simply we can replace this circuit as a which one, friends? A current source only. There is no any significance for it. In circuits, in solving of the questions, all these observations, there is no significance for it. Because, for example, let the current in the circuit is I source. If resistance is present, let this is supplying the IS. If the resistance is present, it supplies IS only. Even though resistance is not present, it supplies IS only. Understand? That's why for ideal current source, if any resistance is, I'm talking about the ideal current source. If any resistance is connected in series with this ideal current source, there is no significance for that resistance. Simply remove that resistance. This is equivalent to simply a current source. Okay, this is observation, one observation that you answer. That is, there is no significance for this one. Let this current is I. Yes, that means a resistor in series with ideal current source is neglected. A resistor in series with ideal current source is neglected. One point to remember here, friends. That is a resistor in series with current source is neglected. Current source is neglected. Next, the second one is the condition is where R1 is not equal to infinity. If R1 is infinity means that is meaningless. Completely open circuit, there is no current. If any R1 is there means the condition is R1 is not equal to infinity. If it is infinity means it is open circuit, there is no current in the circuit. That is meaningless. But very important point, but R1 is considered in power calculation. But R1 is considered in power calculations. If any R1 is given, that you can consider in power calculation. In power calculation. Yeah, this is about a resistor connected in series with the ideal current source. One more observation. For example, let us consider its ideal voltage source plus minus Vs. If any resistance is connected in parallel with ideal voltage source, let this is the R1. If any resistance is connected in parallel with ideal voltage source, then there is no significance for that one. It is equal to how you can replace. That this voltage is any voltage you take, that Vs or V. And this is Vs. Then neglect that one. You need to consider this. What you can take directly, it is a voltage. There is no significance for that. Okay. If any voltage, like this here, I am connecting some load. Then across this load, even though resistance is connected, what are the voltage friends? Vs. Okay, let this is Vs only. That means a resistor in parallel with the ideal voltage source. A resistor in parallel with ideal voltage source. Yes, friends. A resistor in parallel with ideal voltage source. Ideal voltage source is neglected. Voltage source is neglected. So that one point to remember. Next. But here, whatever the R1 is there, this R1 never be equal to 0. It always not equal to 0. So what happens, friends? If R1 is 0 means, if this R1 is 0 means, then it is shorted. Once it is shorted means, then what is the voltage across the load, friends? It is 0. That is meaningless. That's why R1 never be equal to 0. But we can't omit R in the power calculations. That means, but R1 is considered in power calculation. But R1 is, yes friends, consider in power calculation. But in equivalent circuits, we are neglecting that. But R1 is considered in power calculations. Because already given the R1 in the circuit means there is a significance. But in equivalent circuit, there is no significance across the voltage source. Okay, this you can concentrate. Next, third one, students. For example, if two equal voltage sources are connected like this, or two different voltage sources are connected in series, and let this is plus minus, and this also plus minus. Let this is V1 and this is V. Yes. Yeah, this is V2, students. Then this is equivalent to which one, students? This is equivalent to this is equivalent to this is V1 and this is V2. This is equal to simply it is replaced by minus plus minus plus aiding polarity. It is replaced by single source plus minus. But what is this voltage, friends? This is equal to resultant V. That V is nothing but a V1 plus V2 because it's the aiding polarity. Minus plus minus plus. Simply you can replace like this, V1 plus V2. Yes. For example, if it is given like this, two voltage sources are connected in series. This is plus minus, but another one is minus plus. Minus plus. Yes, the another source is, this is minus plus. Let this is V1 and this is V2. Then it is equivalent to which one, students? It is equivalent to which one?
V1 minus V2.
Very good. But here two conditions. Here two conditions. If V1 greater than V2, if V1 greater, but based on the magnitude of voltages, you decide the polarity of resultant. Then if V1 is greater than V2, then you take the polarity of V1 plus minus, where V equal to V1 minus V2. V1 minus V2. For example, if it is a V2 greater than V1 students, if it is a V2 greater than V1, then the polarity of final source, the polarity of the final source is decided based on the which voltage source magnitude is greater. Now that it is not plus minus, you take minus plus. Now it is also V equal to not V1 minus V2, you take V2 minus. Understand, students? There, based on this, we can decide the final polarity of the source. The final polarity of the source. Okay, if V1 greater than V2, we can apply like this. If V2 greater than V1, we can apply like this. Understand? Please concentrate this. Next. This is a fourth one. I given this one. Yes. For example, yes, friends. Fifth one I am giving. Let us assume that two voltage sources. Two equal voltage sources. This is V1 and this is V2. This is V2. This is V2. Yes, friends. Then it is equivalent to which one, students? Is replaced by one voltage source, but condition is V1 must be equal to V2. If two voltage sources are connected in parallel, that voltage source values must be equal. Then only it is possible. Then you can replace like this. This is V equal to V1 equal to V2. The condition must be satisfied is V1 equal to V2. But that you take as a V only. Okay. But in this case, very important note. If V1 not equal to V2, if V1 is not equal to V2 students, that means KVL not valid. If V1 is not equal to V2 means the KVL will not be valid. When the KVL is not valid, physical connection is not possible. The condition, if you, for example, later on I will give example, that is the KVL is not valid. KVL is not valid and the physical connection is not possible. Very important. And the physical connection is not possible. And the physical connection is not possible. Yes, friends. What is the meaning of this? For example, two voltage sources. This is 10 volts. This is also 10 volts. Here I am giving the example. For example, two voltage sources. Two voltage sources. Yes. Yes, friends. This plus minus 10 volts. This also plus minus 10 volts. Connected in parallel. Then what is the resultant voltage, friends? What is the resultant voltage, sir? Plus minus 10 volts only. Yeah, this is correct. Okay. For example, two voltage sources. This plus minus 10 volts. And this also plus minus, but it is a 5 volts. V1 is not equal to V2. Now, what is this resultant voltage, friends? Can you say that it is a 10 volts? Can you say that it is a 5 volts? Can you say that it is a 15 volts? Can you say that it is a 30 volts like that? What is? I think you have some doubt here. Understand? That's why this is not possible. This physical connection is not, because KVL is not valid. KVL is not valid here. Understand? In a loop, the sum of the voltages must be equal to 0. Students, if you apply KVL here, sir, what is your answer, students? Enter at positive terminal, sorry, it is moving from positive to negative, minus 10. Negative to positive, plus 10 is equal to 0. Satisfied. If you apply KVL here, plus minus, minus 5, minus negative to positive, plus 10. Is it equal to 0, sir? Students, is it equal to 0 here? No. That's why KVL is not valid. Once the KVL is not valid, physical connection is not possible. Physical connection is not possible. This is the reason. Physical connection is not possible. Understood? That's why in a parallel connection, if two sources are connected in parallel, that source voltages must be equal. But here I am talking about the DC voltages. Sir, what about it with respect to AC voltage? Even AC voltage also same case. But the condition is magnitude must be equal. Magnitude must be equal. Yes, friends, polarity must be equal. Polarity must be equal. Phase angle must be equal. And frequency is also equal. Then only that two sources are connected in parallel. Then whose voltages are equal. Magnitude, polarity, phase and frequency must be satisfied. Understand? Okay. So for example, one more example I am giving here, students. Can you answer this one? One more example in this case. Yes, sir. Two voltage sources, but equal voltage sources. This is plus minus 50 volts. This is minus plus 50 volts, students. Both are same voltage. Can you tell what is the resultant voltage here? Can you replace what the resultant voltage, students? Is it physical connection is possible? Students, is it physical connection is possible, sir? If you apply KVL here, it is not satisfying the KVL. Yes, sir. This is plus 50. This also plus 50. Plus 50 plus 50 is equal to 0. No, KVL is not satisfying. KVL is not satisfied. When the KVL is not satisfied, physical connection is not possible. Physical connection. This type of connection is not possible. Physical connection is not possible. Yes, friends, understood? Okay. Yeah, this equivalent circuits with respect to voltage. Now, I want to give equivalent circuits with respect to current sources. Up to 5 it is completed. Next, continuation of 6. 6 months. Yes, friends. For example, two current sources. Let this is I1 and this is I2. Are connected in parallel. This is I2. Then this is I. Resultant is I. Yes, friends. This is connected in parallel. Then it is replaced by single current source. This is I1 plus I2 is equal to I. Yes, right. It is replaced by single current source. That is correct. This is I1 and this is I2 means the sum of the two currents. I1 entering, I2 is also entering. Then you can replace with the single current source. That is I1 plus I2. For example, one more equivalent circuit I am giving. Two current sources. This is this direction and this is this direction. Let this is I1. This is I2. Yeah. Now then it is replaced as which ones? It is also replaced as a single current source. But these two currents opposite. Yes, when these two currents are opposite. Then you can replace like this. These two currents are opposite. Then you can replace like this. I1 minus I2. I1 minus I2 means condition is if I1 greater than I2 means. If I1 greater than I2 means the resultant source current direction is same that of I1 only. Based on magnitude. Then you can write I equal to how much friends? I1 minus I2. If I2 is greater than I1 friends, if I2 is greater than I1, the resultant final current direction is similar to I2. Similar to I2. But here what is I friends? This I is equal to which one? I2 minus I1. Condition is I2 is greater than I1. We can use based on the magnitude of current, based on is I1 or I2. Understand? Yes. For example, next one more equivalent circuit I am giving here, friends. You please concentrate. Now this is number is 7, next 8. With respect to current sources. For example, two current sources are connected in series. These two sources are connected in series. That this is I1, this is I2. Then it is equivalent to a single current source. But condition is which one, friends? The condition is I1 must be equal to I2. Then only can replace as a single current source. If I1 is not equal to I2, if I1 is not equal to I2, physical connection is not possible. Physical connection is not possible. That is physically that type of connection is not possible. Connection is not possible. We don't have any that type of connections because in a series the current remains constant. Whatever the current in this source, whatever the current in this source, the two currents must be equal. Then only you can replace with a single current source. Otherwise, the physical connection is not possible. See, students, for example, two current sources connected in series. This is 10 ampere. This is also 10 ampere. What are the resultant currents, friends? What are the resultant currents, sir? The resultant current equal to 10 ampere. For example, two current sources. One more example I am giving here. Take this one. Yes, friends. Two current sources is connected in series. This is 10 ampere. This is 20 ampere. What is the current in this circuit, friends? And here we are connecting some load, no doubt at all. Across some load. What is the current here, friends? Can you say that it is a 30 amperes? Can you say that it is a 10 ampere? Can you take it is a 20 amperes? No. That's why this type of connection is not possible. Physical connection is not possible. What is the answer for this one, friends? Physical connection is not possible. Physical connection is not possible. The physical connection is, this type of connection is not possible, students. Okay. Like this, we can make the what is the equivalent circuit with respect to resistance. By knowing this one, we can easily solve the different models of questions in computer exams. This a physical connection is not possible here. But here also, if I1 equal to I2, not equal to physical connection is not possible. But here also, whatever I1 equal to I2 we are taking, these two sources must be, the condition is same magnitude, that condition must be satisfied, sir. Same magnitude, polarity, phase and frequency. Same magnitude, the two sources must be having magnitude, polarity, phase and frequency. Even for with respect to AC sources also, frequency. Okay, students. Okay, this is about equivalent circuit with respect to sources. This is about today's session. The next coming session, I will solve some questions based on these equivalent circuits of the sources. Then after that, I will start the what a small concept, source transformation technique. After completing that source transformation technique, then you go for the series and the parallel connection of different types of elements. If the resistors in series and parallel, how to solve the problem. If the inductor and capacitors also series and parallel, how to solve the problems. That I want to explain tomorrow concept. Once that is completed, maximum basic concepts will be complete, students. Then I want to start the nodal analysis and mesh analysis, the last concept with respect to basics. Friends, is it okay? Any doubt? Any doubt, sir? Is it okay, students? If you don't have any doubts, then I will end the session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.